Hi there, I'm Paulina from Katsune's Video. Welcome to my studio. Today we are going to paint this cute little mummy. I decided to go with it because by default it seems quite boring because the main color will be white. And I wanted to show you how you can make it slightly more different, slightly more interesting, and you can give it a try if you like the result afterwards. Actually, I'm not going to use plain white for the mummy. I'm going to use this color. It's called oyster beige, and I will combine it with some dark brown. Espresso is the particular color, and with some black to give the shadows. I also will be using this coral color from Craftsmart for the nude tone here. You can change it or use another if you have any preferences. And some brown for the eyes, and of course some black. And yeah, we'll see what color I will make this candy in. So let's get started. Be careful not to throw this piece, it's from the face. I'm going to start with my base color for the mummy, and I also have my darker colors nearby ready to be used because I usually make the shadows while my base paint is still wet. So I'm taking some black. And I'm going to use a sponge for the base color because I don't want to entirely fill these scoring lines. I'm going to speed up here because it's a simple task. You just need to color your base, and then I'll be back with more explanations about the shadows. We need to color the hands, and I'm working very quickly so my paint doesn't dry. Okay, let's start with the shadows. I'm going to use some brown and some black, and I take a piece of paper, some water, and I'm dipping my brush into the base paint. Then I take some brown, some black on the tip of the brush, and I'm blending them here. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's start with the head. I want to enhance these places where the tissue is overlapping. I want to add some shadows here. And I'm repeating the process, some base color, some black, some brown. I want to enhance this antique look of the mummy. That's why I decided to go with this oyster beige instead of white. If you put too much paint at a certain place, you can always use a wet wipe to remove it, or to just wipe some of it. Now I want to add some shadow that is for the body and for these pieces here. Let's blend it, and now and this piece here, this is my mistake. The file is perfectly fine, but I decided to still use this piece. It's not a big deal because it will be covered by the hand. Now let's color the eyes and the face. I'm using white, and I will need some gray for the eyes. But let's start with the white. I will probably need 2 coats. The paint is still wet, and I'm taking a small brush, a little bit of water, a little bit of gray and white. Let's blend here, and I'm putting this shadow on the outer edge of the eyes to give them some depth and make them more impressive. This is a very soft shadow. It's just enough to be visible, but not too much. We are done with this part. Now I need to paint the face and the nose. You can, of course, add some very soft shadow here too. I'm doing this while my paint is still wet. And I'm blending carefully here and here at the bottom. Okay. And I also need to color this nose. And the bottom of this nose deserves some shadow as well, so I'm going to add here. Good. So let's paint the eyes. Now I want to see how my candy should be positioned, so I can make the shadows in accordance with the rest of the piece. So this is the way. Here the shadows are at the bottom and on the left, so we need to stick to this. I'm working quickly while my paint is wet. I'm taking some blue and a tiny bit of black just on the tip of the brush, and I'm blending it here. So now, oops, not enough, but that's fine. Okay, this is what we want to achieve. Here at the bottom and on the left, and a little bit here. Okay, that's it, and now we can start assembling our cute mummy. Let's make sure that this will be glued. And now we need to wait just a couple of minutes so this can get dry, and we can add some highlight and some other details to make this mummy even cuter. I am going to start with the highlights, and I'm going to use some white paint and this old brush. It is completely dry. I'm taking a bit of white and dabbing on my piece of paper just to take off some of the paint. And then I'm going to start adding these highlights. Okay, I think we are done with the highlights, with this portion of highlights, and now I want to make something else. I want to add some blush here on the mummy's cheek. I know that technically this band cannot blush, but this is something, this is a decorative item. We don't want to make something historically correct, or we are not trying to make a mummy that is really authentic, so we are allowed to add some details that could not exist in reality. I'm using my same dry brush, and I'm just making some circles here and here on the cheeks of the mummy. And we can put some blush on the nose as well, just a little bit. I think that's enough. Now, two more things. I want to add some white dots to the eyes and some details, and I want to enhance this smile with a little bit of black, but let's start with the smile. I'm taking this brush, some water, and I will make a test run here on my paper. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm changing the brush because I want my white to be clean. And for the eyes, I'm going to use my dot maker. So I will use this one. I think we're done. So that's it from my side for today. If you like this kind of painting lessons, don't forget to subscribe and see you soon. Bye!